Imagine this. It's 2 a.m. and you're sitting in the dim glow of your kitchen light. The house is quiet, the world outside asleep, but your mind is wide awake. Bills to pay, deadlines to meet, a child to raise, alone. You take a deep breath, wondering how much more you can carry. But here's something no one tells you. Some of the strongest, most resilient people in history were shaped in the fire of single parenthood. J.K. Rowling, once a struggling single mother, wrote Harry Potter in coffee shops, using her last few pennies to buy tea so she could stay and write. Oprah Winfrey, raised by a single mother in poverty, grew up to change the world. What if I told you that the struggles you face today are the very thing molding you into someone unstoppable? Single motherhood is often painted as a story of hardship and sacrifice. But what if it's something more? What if hidden within this challenge is a power few ever tap into? Today, we're going to explore the untold strength of single moms, why society underestimates them, how their struggles forge an unbreakable mindset, and the hidden lessons that turn them into some of the most unstoppable forces in the world. Stick with me until the end, because what I'm about to share might just change the way you see yourself forever. What makes someone truly strong? Is it physical endurance, mental toughness, emotional resilience? Science suggests it's a combination of all three, and single mothers, often without realizing it, develop these traits at extraordinary levels. Studies in neuroscience have found that stress, when properly managed, doesn't just wear us down. It rewires our brain for strength. The stress inoculation effect suggests that people who face adversity and push through it become more adaptable, better problem solvers, and mentally tougher. Single mothers are living proof of this. Every time you juggle work, finances, parenting, and personal struggles, your brain is literally learning how to function under pressure. In a study from the American Psychological Association, researchers found that single mothers develop higher cognitive flexibility, the ability to adapt and find creative solutions in unpredictable situations. It's no surprise. Every day you're making complex decisions on your own, thinking 3 steps ahead and navigating challenges that most people wouldn't survive alone. The ancient Stoics had a belief: the obstacle is the way. Instead of resisting hardship, they embraced it as the path to strength and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Single mothers unknowingly live by this principle every day. You cannot control the world around you, unexpected expenses, a sick child, the weight of doing it all alone, but you do control your response. And through every hardship, you grow stronger. Throughout history, women, especially mothers, have been seen as caregivers first, warriors second. But science and philosophy suggest the two roles are inseparable. Raising a child alone requires extraordinary strength, but because this strength is expressed through love, sacrifice, and endurance, it's often overlooked. But think about this: who is stronger? The one who lifts weights in a gym, or the one who carries the weight of another human's entire future on her shoulders? This is the hidden truth. Single mothers are not just surviving, they are evolving. And that evolution is shaping them into some of the strongest individuals in the world. Strength isn't something you're born with, it's something forged in the fire of hardship. And single motherhood, that fire burns hotter than most. But here's the part no one talks about: single moms don't just get by, they transform, they evolve. And if you look closely, you'll see a pattern, an invisible process shaping them into someone stronger than they ever imagined. Phase 1, the breaking point. Every single mother at some point faces the breaking point, that moment where everything feels too heavy, where the world feels too unfair, where exhaustion and doubt whisper, "I can't do this anymore." For some, it's the moment they realize they're truly alone in this. No safety net, no backup plan. For others, it's staring at an empty fridge, wondering how to stretch a few dollars to feed their child. It's in this moment, when everything feels impossible, that something unexpected happens. They don't break, they bend, they adapt. And in doing so, they discover a strength they never knew they had. Phase 2, the adaptation instinct. There's a reason why single mothers develop an almost superhuman ability to adapt. It's wired into them. Psychologists call this neuroplasticity under adversity, the brain's ability to rewire itself in response to stress. Single moms become masters of rapid decision-making, problem-solving, and emotional regulation. They don't have the luxury of panicking for long. They must act. It's why they instinctively develop routines to keep their homes running smoothly. Why they become financial strategists, emotional therapists, and life coaches, all without realizing it. Phase 3, the silent superpower. Here's something fascinating. Single mothers develop an emotional superpower that many people struggle with their entire lives: emotional intelligence. Psychologist Daniel Goleman, who pioneered the study of emotional intelligence, found that people with high EQ, emotional intelligence, are better leaders, more resilient, and more successful in life. Why? Because they learn how to manage emotions, both their own and those around them. They learn how to read body language, how to anticipate needs, how to regulate their own stress while comforting someone else. Single moms do this every single day. This isn't just parenting, this is leadership, and yet society still calls it just being a mom. But make no mistake, this is the same skills CEOs, world leaders, and high achievers credit for their success. The ability to stay calm under pressure, the ability to lead with empathy, the ability to find solutions when everything is falling apart. That's not just being a mom. That's the mark of someone unstoppable. Society often sees single mothers through a narrow lens, either as struggling heroes or cautionary tales. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if single mothers aren't just surviving? What if they are thriving in ways most people will never understand? For decades, we've been told that a two-parent household is the ideal. Anything less is broken. But history and psychology tell a different story. A study from Harvard University found that children raised by strong, emotionally present single parents often develop higher levels of independence, problem-solving skills, and emotional resilience than those in traditional households with high conflict. Why? Because they learn by watching. They see their mother, against all odds, finding solutions, adapting, pushing forward. They witness firsthand what real strength looks like. They don't just hear words about resilience, they live it. And yet the world still clings to the idea that single motherhood is a lesser version of family life. But what if it's not broken? What if it's just different? And in some ways, even stronger. Single moms live and breathe grit every day. They push through exhaustion. They wake up and do it all again, even when yesterday broke them. They learn how to function on limited sleep, how to stretch every dollar, how to show up for their children even when their own hearts are heavy. This isn't just resilience, it's mastery over hardship. There's a quiet revolution happening. More than ever before, single mothers are becoming entrepreneurs, leaders, and change makers, not in spite of their challenges, but because of them. Oprah Winfrey, raised by a single mother, became a global icon. J.K. Rowling, a struggling single mom, created a billion-dollar empire from words. Indra Nooyi, former CEO of PepsiCo, was raised by a mother who challenged her to dream bigger. These women and countless others carry the same struggles, the same exhaustion, the same doubts as every single mother watching this video. The difference? They recognized their struggles as training. Every sleepless night, every difficult decision, every impossible moment of pushing through. This is not a weakness. This is a forge. And those who survive it? They don't just become strong, they become unstoppable. By now, you might be seeing yourself in a new light. Not as someone barely holding things together, but as someone evolving. But knowing this is only the first step. Now, you have to use it. How do you take the strength you've been forced to develop and turn it into a force that propels your life forward? How do you transform from surviving to thriving? Let's break it down into 3 powerful strategies. 1. Reframe your struggles as training, not tragedy. Every hardship you've faced as a single mother has trained you in ways most people will never understand. Instead of seeing obstacles as setbacks, start asking, what is this teaching me? What skill am I developing right now? How is this making me stronger? This simple shift in perspective turns every problem into an opportunity. Struggling with finances, you're becoming a master strategist in budgeting. Feeling overwhelmed, you're developing unmatched endurance and multitasking skills. Each night, write down one challenge you faced that day and the skill it helped you develop. Over time, you'll start to see your struggles as stepping stones, not roadblocks. 2. Build an unshakable mindset with micro wins. Single mothers often operate in survival mode, always thinking 3 steps ahead, always putting out fires. But if you don't stop to acknowledge your progress, you'll feel like you're running on a treadmill that never stops. That's where micro wins come in. Instead of focusing on everything you haven't done, shift your attention to the small victories that prove your resilience. You got through a tough day? That's a win. You made a difficult decision alone? That's a win. You showed up for your child even when you felt like breaking? That's a huge win. At the end of each day, write down 3 small victories. Things you did right, moments where you showed resilience. Over time, this rewires your brain to see yourself as someone who wins, no matter the circumstances. 3. Use the single mom advantage. In work and life society underestimates single mothers, but the truth is, you have a massive advantage in the world of work, business, and leadership. Think about it. You are a decision maker. You don't wait for permission to act. You are a negotiator. You know how to make things work with limited resources. You are a leader. You guide, protect, and problem solve every single day. These are the same skills that make great entrepreneurs, CEOs, and high achievers. The world doesn't always see it, but you need to see it in yourself. Next time you doubt yourself, ask, if I were in a job interview, how would I describe the skills I've developed as a single mom? You'll be shocked at how much power you already have. The world will try to tell you that single motherhood is a struggle, a limitation, something to overcome. But what if it's actually your greatest strength? What if the fire you've walked through hasn't burned you, it's forged you? You are not weak. You are not just getting by. You are becoming something most people could never even imagine. And now it's time to own it. Look at where you are right now. Look at everything you've been through. You are still here. There were moments you thought you wouldn't make it, moments where the weight of the world felt unbearable. But somehow, you kept going. Somehow, you found a way. And if you've done it before, you can do it again. You are not waiting to become strong. You already are. And now the only question is, how will you use that strength? Will you keep seeing yourself as someone barely holding on? Or will you recognize that everything you've endured has given you an edge? One that can be used to build the life you deserve? If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What's one moment in your life where you proved your own strength? I'd love to hear your story. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, because this journey is just beginning. Remember this, you are not just surviving, you are evolving, and the world has no idea what you're truly capable of, yet.